Good morning. Monday morning. Here we are. June 8th this morning on a Monday morning, and it's a bit chilly this morning. We go through these heat waves. We get up to 100 degrees in May, and now here we are, the second week of June, and it's in the 40s out here, so a little chilly. Good morning, Janisa. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning, Claudia. Good to see everyone this morning. I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Good morning, Lori. Welcome to the live stream this morning. This live stream works great, without fail. I wished our Sunday morning service yesterday could say the same. We had so many issues yesterday morning. It was, in hindsight, a comedy of errors. Not errors, actually. It was really things that we had zero control over. And I just want to say again how grateful I am for the team of people. It literally feels like it takes a village to pull off a live stream. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. And I'm just commenting a little bit on yesterday's service. I've read lots of your comments. People trying to find the live stream, and then they find it, and then it goes away. We just had internet issues. It wasn't the equipment we were using. It was a lack of internet broadband bandwidth, I guess is probably the better way to say it. And we had tested it out the week previous in an evening, Tuesday night. We produced 2 live streams. We rehearsed, for Sunday morning, and everything went great. We felt really good on Tuesday night, and Sunday morning we set everything up and duplicated what we did on Tuesday night as far as the success we had, but the internet was not the same. It varies, as you probably well know when you experience issues at home. And so I tell you, we go live, and the service is going on stage. We're singing songs, we're making announcements, I'm giving a message. And if you could only see the chaos that was happening behind the camera, I didn't know what was going wrong, but I could see that there were plenty of things they were trying to fix. And you just keep pressing forward. And what a great team we have. I'm so grateful for everybody who has put so many hours into learning new technology. So welcome, everybody. I see all your names going up, and I apologize for yesterday and the fact that it was hard to find our live stream, that when you did find it, it cut out. We had internet issues yesterday morning, so when it finally came on, the solution we found when the live stream actually started working and it made it all the way for 30 minutes straight was when we didn't rely on the wireless internet anymore. We had plugged it into a cable that extended all the way to the router that was in the office. And to pull that off was a little bit of a feat because that's not close. And so they drug a cable out, they ran it, and it was about 10 feet short. So they had to run somewhere else in the building, find some more Cat5 cable, came out. Terry, our sound guy, spliced the cable, got everything connected, extended all the way to the computer we were using that had the camera connected to it. When they plug that in, we get a great connection, and that's when we started getting a solid live stream. I see the light rays are coming in. I'm going to try to move my camera a little bit. There we go. And so it was it was just one of those days. And I said this before. We're about to go live, and I said, "Hey guys, I just want you to know that we've done all the work we knew to do, and the rest is up to God, and the rest is up to, we're just at the mercy of this technology that we're all learning. It's new to us, and this could be a great experience." I said, but I said it also could be a slow motion train wreck, and we'll look back on this day and say, remember the day we first went live? Well, the second option was what we experienced. So anyway, appreciate the team. They worked so hard, and there's still a lot of work to do. And I don't know that we're out of the woods completely, but we definitely are going to have a better experience next week. And next Sunday, we get to meet in person. So that's so exciting, too. I know I'm kind of rambling this morning, but this upcoming Sunday, we are having 2 services. So, we're limited to having only 100 people at a time due to the COVID guidelines. So we're going to have 2 services, one at 9 a.m. and one at 10:30. And so you can come to either one. There should be plenty of room for everybody who wants to be there. But we're all also going to be streaming online, hopefully with better success this week. And so I'm really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to seeing people in person. And so it'll be a good week, good morning on Sunday morning. We are in Psalm 8 this morning. And I usually try to name so many people who are coming in, and I didn't really do a good job of that today, but I see a lot of names, and I appreciate you being here this morning. There's 22 of us, so we got a good showing, for a 7 a.m. crowd. And I'm actually kind of shivering out here. I think I'm adapting to the warmer weather, and then when it turns cold again, it's in the 40s out here. I'm feeling like, wow, it's a little cold. Psalm 8. And this is such a great psalm. I read all of the psalms in the reading this morning, and I immediately kind of brushed over 8 because I've journaled about Psalm 8 so many times, but I felt like I needed to come back there for this morning's devotion. So I'm going to read a part of it, and we'll talk about it. Psalm 8, verse 1, O Lord our God, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You have set your glory above the heavens. Out of the mouth of babes and infants you have established strength or praise because of your foes, to still the enemy and the avenger. When I look at your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have set in place, what is man, that you are mindful of him, and the Son of Man, that you care for him? I'm going to stop there just for a second. And if we spend any time pondering the heavens, the moon and the stars. I've thought of this verse so many times, especially when I was hiking last summer on the JMT, and I'd lay down at night, and most of the time I just sleep under the stars and look up, and it was just, for much of my hike it was a full moon, or at least waxing and waning on the near the full moon, and so it was really bright when the moon was out, and when the moon hadn't yet risen or had tucked away behind a mountain, you could see stars so clearly. It was such an amazing thing. And I'm sorry, there's a animal coming up behind me that I'm not used to seeing, and I'm not even sure what it is. It's in the grass. It's moving through the grass. I've seen a bobcat up here before, so anyway. But it's still moving right there in the grass. I can see the grass moving. But anyway, if anything happens to me while we're out here, it's on live. You all get to see it. So I'm out there under the stars and just looking at this. And this Psalm 8 comes to mind so many times when I look at the moon and the stars, and I think, what is man? That you're considerate of him, that God has set his affection, set his steadfast love, this covenant-keeping love on me. And when I think of this expanse of things, and I think of it, and I relate that out, not just to the stars and the moon, but when I think of creation itself, and I've said this to myself many times, I've journaled about this so many times, when I look at the mountains, when I'm out there in the vastness of these peaks, and I'm hiking for miles, and you're covering all this ground, and the perspective I get is how small I am, and how these mountains have existed long before I was born, and they will be there long after I have gone into heaven. And this sense of vastness and big, amazing character of God's creation. And here I am, this little speck, not just in size a small person, but even in time. My time on earth is so short relative to just even creation. And it just gives me perspective about my problems. It gives me perspective about my life. It gives me a perspective about eternity. And the psalmist focuses in on the love of God. That what is man that you have placed your affection on him, that you have made him, you've crowned him with glory, you have made him the object of your covenant-keeping love. And we just have a real strong sense of God's grace. Obviously, we don't deserve it. We are finite beings, and we are given charge. If you keep reading in the Psalm, we're giving dominion over all of creation. We're giving charge as stewards to take care of God's creation and to cultivate trees and fruit-bearing plants so we can eat, and cultivating animals and livestock so it sustains life. And by our existence, the earth should be strengthened, both in horticulture and taking care of animals and all these things. We get charge over it, and whether we're doing a good job or not, I mean, obviously we're a fallen beings and we have limitations, but the reality is God has placed his affection on us, and it's unmerited, and it just displays God's grace. So the first thought I always have is gratitude. I'm just so grateful for God's love for me. I get perspective that issues that are really big to me, like yesterday with the live stream, it helps me to get perspective. This is just one Sunday out of 52 in a year. I've been doing full-time Christian ministry for more than 30 years of my life. It's just one Sunday. And as important as it was yesterday to get that right, when things happen beyond our ability to control, you have to just step back and get perspective that, we're finite beings and God loves us more than we can ever measure. And I love that. And the second thought I have is that I have a responsibility to live according to the privilege that I have received. And anything less than living responsibly according to the grace that has been extended to me would be looked at as ungracious. I'm not grateful for what God has done. If I'm complaining about every little thing, or if I'm woe is me, or whatever, I have to see the blessings of life, and I have to be responsible to make choices with my life that are reflective of the mercy that I've been shown. So I show that same mercy to other people. It makes me think of Micah 6:8, which I quoted. I don't know if anybody's heard the little message I gave on Hometown Radio this weekend. It's just a 3-minute little message that I was asked to do. And I talked about Micah 6:8, that we are to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with our God. It's what he requires of us. And that's what I think of when I think about having responsibility. What is man that you have placed your love on him? When I think about the stars and the moon and the vastness of your creation and the majesty of it, yet I received this grace, and so therefore I have a responsibility to extend this grace to people around me, to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly before my God. And this is just a way we live. And you saw it, if you saw, I can't remember what part of the live stream actually made it out there that you could actually see, but it's a part of Sunday's passage in Colossians chapter 3, that the characteristics, the attributes that should be displayed commonly in Christianity is humility, meekness, patience, forgiveness, and because we ourselves have been forgiven. And so my two thoughts for today, based on Psalm 8, are: you are loved. You are loved. We are loved more than we deserve. And so let that soak in. We are given a privileged place in all of creation. And secondly, therefore, we have the responsibility to extend humility and love and patience and forgiveness to other people around us. And therefore, we exhibit the attributes of God in us. We are made in the image of God. We are given the Spirit of God. And so we are living out the light of God on earth. So be blessed today, and I hope that you are going to have a great day today and enjoy God's provision and enjoy God's blessing today.